Hello and welcome to the beginning of this Let's Play for Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy, a game I've been meaning to come to for a long time, and I've actually attempted to record this video twice, so excuse me if I kind of just hurry my way through a lot of this bit here, because I am actually very eager to play this game, have been for a very long time, and the video software has just been running me around in circles trying to record this, so hopefully it will all work well this time. I may have to fiddle with the audio a bit here. That's kind of been part of the problem, it's been hard to hear most of the time. That'll do for now, hopefully. We'll see. I'll have to mess with the audio as the series goes on if it's a problem. But anyway, I've been meaning to play this series in general for a long time. I am a fan of Professor Layton, and they made a crossover game with this and Professor Layton, and I deliberately avoided it just because I didn't want it to spoil anything Ace Attorney related for me, because I always intended to come to this game one day. It just came to when it would be convenient to get into, and well, they've released the whole trilogy on PS4 now, probably a few weeks ago by the point I'm actually finally uploading this, so yeah, it's finally on a convenient platform for me and I'm going to enjoy playing it, even if I am very late as far as the trend of people playing this game is concerned, because everyone is playing this game all of a sudden. There's loads of Let's Plays up for playing the trilogy, and I'm late for all of them, but I don't care, I'm doing this for me. I just want to see what Ace Attorney's finally about. So, we got all three games. Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trial and Tribulations. I'm guessing that's the third one, just by the law going left to right, and the idea that it has try in the name, which always means it's the third one. So, yep, here we go. I don't actually know how long these videos are going to be, because I don't know like how long the game is. If it's like Danganronpa, it could be hour-long episodes, but we'll see. Episode 1, the first turnabout, okay? I imagine I'm gonna have to be voicing most of the characters. You guys may have to be a bit patient with me. I need to know who these guys are before I voice them. Oh, there's been a murder. Damn it. Why me? I can't get caught. Not like this. Are you gonna show me who the murderer is already? I've gotta find someone to pin this on. Someone like him. I'll make it look like he did it. August 3rd, 9:47 AM, District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Boy, am I nervous. Right. Oh, hiya, Chief. Phew, I'm glad I made it on time. Well, I have to say, Phoenix, I'm impressed. Not everyone takes on a murder trial right off the bat like this. It says a lot about you, and your client as well. Thanks. Actually, it's because I owe him a favor. A favor? You mean you knew the defendant before this case? Shouldn't that be a big no-no as far as the law is concerned? I thought impartiality is kind of a well, I guess if you're a defense attorney, you're automatically partial to whoever you're defending, so... Yes, actually I kind of owe my current job to him. He's one of the reasons I became an attorney. Well, that's news to me. I want to help him out any way I can. I just really want to help him. I owe him that much. It's over! My life, everything, it's all over! Is that your client screaming over there? Yeah, it's him. Death! Despair! Oh! I'm gonna do it! I'm gonna die! Sounds like he wants to die. Yeah. Nick! Hey there, Larry. Dude, I'm so guilty. Told him I'm guilty. Give me the death sentence. I ain't afraid to die. What's wrong, Larry? It's all over. I'm finished. Finished! I can't live in a world without her. I can. Who took her away from me, Nick? Who did this? Oh, Nick, you gotta tell me. Who took my baby away? The person responsible for your girlfriend's death? The newspaper says it was you. Yeah, but we don't believe that, Phoenix. My name is Phoenix Wright. Here's the story. My first case is a fairly simple one. A young woman was killed in her apartment. The guy they arrested was the unlucky sap dating her. Larry Butts. My best friend since grade... Butts, really? My best friend since grade school. Our school had a saying, when something smells, it's usually the butts. Okay, getting a taste for this game's puns. Okay, yep, gotcha. In the 24 years I've known him, it's usually been true. He has a knack for getting himself in trouble. One thing I can say, though, it's usually not his fault. He just has terrible luck. But I know better than anyone that he's got a good... he's a good guy at heart. That and I owe him one, which is why I took the case to clear his name. And that's just what I'm going to do. August 3rd, 10 AM, District Court, courtroom number 2. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Larry Butts. Oh yeah, I'm giving him this voice because he looks like Chancellor Shepard from GX, and recently Little Creeper has been watching through GX, and he's sort of brought to my attention that Chancellor Shepard had some very odd line reads in GX, where he'd say something normally, then right at the end he'd have this odd inflection. So he'd be talking like this, just at the end, just suddenly his voice rises as if someone's goosed him or something. So I'm just going to talk like that, and we're going to see if it works. I imagine the judge is going to be a reoccurring character, and this could probably get very annoying, but we're going to see how it works. And this guy looks very slimy, so he's going to have a kind of a nasally voice that the prosecution is ready, Your Honor. That's probably going to get very annoying. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Mr. Wright? This is your first trial, is it not? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a little nervous. Your conduct during the trial will decide the fate of your client. Murder is a serious charge. For your client's sake, I hope you can control your nerves. Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, given the circumstances, I think we should have a test to ascertain your readiness. Yes, Your Honor. Handshaking, eyesight fading. Test will consist of a few simple questions. Answer them clearly and concisely. Please state the name of the defendant in this case. That would be Mr. Larry Butts. Yes, I am the defendant. I am on trial. The defendant? Well, that's Larry Butts, Your Honor. Correct. Just keep your wits about you and you'll do fine. Next question. This is a murder trial. Tell me, what's the victim's name? I know this one. Glad I read the case report over cover to cover so many times. It's... Wait. Uh-oh. No. No way. I forgot. Phoenix, are you absolutely sure you're up to this? You don't even know the victim's name? Oh, the victim! Oh, of course I know the victim's name. I, just forgot. Temporarily. I think I feel a migraine coming on. Look, the victim's name is listed in the court record. Just press the R1 button to check it any time, okay? Okay, so let's see. Attorney's badge. No one would believe I was defense attorney if I didn't carry this. Cindy's autopsy. Her name is Cindy. Time of death 7:31, 4 PM to 5 PM. Cause of death, loss of blood due to blunt trauma. My FA, Chief Attorney of Fay & Co. My boss and a very good defense attorney. Defendant in this case, a likable guy who's been my friend since grade school. Victim in this case, a model. She lived in an apartment by herself. And Winston Payne, prosecutor for this case, lacks presence, generally bad at getting his points across. Basically, this is a tutorial, boss. Just learn to deal with him, and you'll get a proper challenge next time. Okay. Like I said, I have played through this first trial a few times, quite annoyingly, so... I know most of what's going on. I figured most of it out myself, to be fair, the first time round. It's an easy case because it's obviously the beginning of the game. Remember to check it often. Do it for me, please. I'm begging you. Mr. Wright, who is the victim in this case? That would be Cindy Stone. The victim's name is Cindy Stone. Correct. Now tell me, what was the cause of death? She died because she was hit with a blunt object, hence the blunt trauma. She was struck once by a blunt object. Correct. You've answered all my questions. I see no reason why we shouldn't proceed. You seem much more relaxed, Mr. Wright. Good for you. Thank you, Your Honor. Because I don't feel relaxed, that's for sure. So yeah, just let me know, like, in the future, just, like, how this all sounds, if you can hear things, if the music's too loud. I don't want to silence the music, like, there's a setting to make the whole game go quieter whenever I speak, but the music's actually really good in this game, and I don't want to tune it out too much. Well then, first, a question for the prosecution. Mr. Payne? Yes, Your Honor. As Mr. Wright just told us, the victim was struck with a blunt object. Would you explain to the court just what the object was? The murder weapon was the statue of the thinker. It was found lying on the floor next to the victim. I see. The court accepted into evidence. Statue added to the court records. The statue in the shape of a finger is rather heavy. Right. Be sure to pay attention to any evidence added during the trial. Bad evidence is the only ammunition you have in court. Use the R1 button to check court record frequently. Yeah, okay, got you. Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its first witness. The prosecution calls for defendant Mr. Butts to the stand. Chief, what do I do now? Pay attention. You don't want to miss any information that might help your client's case. You'll get your chance to respond to the prosecution later, so just be ready. Let's just hope he doesn't say anything unfortunate. Have you met this man? Did you meet that man in the lobby? He says everything unfortunate. He is a walking wreck of a man. Uh-oh. Larry gets excited easily. This could be bad. Ahem. Mr. Butts, is it not true that the victim had recently dumped you? Hey, watch it, buddy. We were great together. We were Romeo and Juliet, Cleopatra and Mark Anthony. Didn't they all die? We all have to die, Phoenix. It doesn't mean they weren't beautiful couples. I wasn't dumped. She just wasn't taking my phone calls. Or seeing me. Ever. I look like Kaito Momota. What's it to you, anyway? Well, I guess it would be more accurate to say Kaito Momota looks like him, because obviously it just came before V3. Mr. Butts, what you describe is generally what we mean by dumped. In fact, she had completely abandoned you and was seeing other men. She had just returned from overseas with one of them the day before the murder. What do you mean, one of them? Lies. All of it. Lies. I don't believe a word of it. Your Honor, the victim's passport. According to this, she was in Paris until the day before she died. Passport added to the court record. Victim apparently arrived home from Paris on the 30th of July, the day before the murder. Indeed. She appears to have returned to the day before the murder. Dude, no way. The victim was a model, but did not have a large income. It appears that she had several sugar daddies. Daddies? Sugar? Yes, older men who gave her money and gifts. She took their money and used it to support her lifestyle. Wow, so much sympathy for the dead victim here. Dude! We can clearly see what kind of woman this Miss Stone was. Again, no respect for the dead at all. Tell me, Mr. Butts, what do you think of her now? Hey, leading the witness. Right? I don't think you want him to answer that question. Yeah, Larry has a way of running his mouth in all the wrong directions. Should I? Let's keep him quiet. Let's just... My client has no idea the victim was seeing other men. That question is irrelevant to this case. Okay. Was he really depending on him answering that? Dude, Nick, what do you mean Wait, Nick? Oh, Phoenix. I see what... Yeah, I imagine Phoenix would be a very wordy name to have to say all the time. Fair enough. I guess that's an interesting way of giving him a nickname. What do you mean irrelevant? That cheating she-dog? I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna drop dead. Yeah, and when I meet her in the afterlife, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Okay. Let's continue with the trial, shall we? I believe the accused motive is clear to everyone. Yes, quite. Oh boy, this is so not looking good. Next question. You entered the victim's apartment on the day of the murder, did you not? Well, did you or did you not? Well, maybe I did, and maybe I didn't. Oh, he went. What do I do? Hey, this is a court of law. This is where the truth comes out. We're fine. I know. I'll send him a signal. Tell the truth. Yeah, I was there. I went. Order? Well, Mr. Butts? Dude, chill. She wasn't home, man, so like I didn't see her. Your Honor, the defendant is lying. Lying? The prosecution would like to call a witness who can prove Mr. Butts is lying. Well, that simplifies matters. Who is your witness? The man who found the victim's body, just before making the gruesome discovery. He saw the defendant fleeing the scene of the crime. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Payne, the prosecution may call its witness. Yes, Your Honor. This is bad. On the day of the murder, my witness was selling newspapers at the victim's building. Please bring Mr. Frank Sorrett to the stand. See, he's a witness, so his name is Sorrett, because he sees things. Mr. Sorrett, you sell newspaper subscriptions, is this correct? Oh yes, newspapers, yes. I don't know if his voice is offensive or not. I get the feeling this game came out at a time where the world was a lot less sensitive to those issues, to be honest. Mr. Sorrett, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. I was going door to door selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it was strange, I looked inside the apartment. When I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. You know, just as my personal... If you did see that, if you saw someone leave and they didn't shut the door properly, wouldn't the normal, wholesome response be to let them know they haven't shut the door properly? Instead of just looking in? Okay. I thought to call the police immediately, however the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 PM. The man who ran was without a doubt the defendant sitting right over there. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sorrett used was one of those. Wait, Mr. Sorrett, don't you mean the one the victim used? Why would the one he... Okay, whatever. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout for your perusal. Blackout record of the court record. Electricity to Miss Stone's apartment was out from noon to 6 PM on the day of the crime. Now, Mr. Wright? Yes? Yes, Your Honor? You may begin your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, right. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you exposed the lies and testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Phoenix, come on, I know this is your first trial, but man up! Your client is innocent, right? But that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? How do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there. First, find the contradictions between the court record and the witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Open the court record with the R1 button and point out the contradictions in the testimony. Yep, so we just gotta figure out what part of we saying is a lie. I was going to door to door selling new subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. When I saw her lying there, a woman, not moving, dead. I quailed in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call the police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 PM. Time is always a very easy thing to check with the facts. So the blackout was from noon to 6, but the time of death was 4 to 5. You're lying. You found the body at 1 PM. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 PM, for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy result. The autopsy notes the time of death at some time after 4 PM. There was no body to find at 1 PM. How do you explain the 3-hour gap? This is trivial. The witness merely forgot the time. After his testimony, I find it hard to believe. Mr. Sorrett, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 PM? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, right? Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and their whole story falls apart. Wait, I remember now. Would you care to give your testimony again? You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the there was a blackout. There was a blackout. You goddamn idiot. We already said this. We said it during your first testimony. You complete moron. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a taped program. That's why I thought it was 1 PM. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. You know, just about any program in the world can say what the time is. It doesn't have to be taped, and it can still be very much wrong because, you know, programs just are aired, not always stating what the proper time is. I see. You heard a voice saying the time on a taped program. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. You see, when I found the boy, I heard the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. There's no televisions on during a blackout, you goddamn idiots. Hold it right there. The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of the discovery. And this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television. Or a video. Yeah. The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this, Mr. Soret? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait, I remember now. Mr. Soret, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. And you seem rather distraught. You're jiggling back and forth. It's rather hypnotic. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well, Mr. Soret. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Alright. Actually, I didn't hear the time, I saw it. See, my name is Soret, so I have to see things. That's the only thing that makes sense for my character, and jiggling back and forth. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess that would explain it. The defense may cross-examine the witness. Gladly. So he says they were hit with a table clock, but we know the murder weapon was in fact this statue. Wait just a moment. The murder weapon wasn't a clock, it was this statue. Now how is this supposed to be a clock? Well, you with your objections and your evidence and your logic and your reason, just who do you think you are? Just answer the question, Mr. Soret. Hey, I saw it there, okay? My name is Soret, I know very much what I saw. That's a clock. Your Honor, if I may. Yes, Mr. Payne? As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck is a switch. You just tilt it and it says the time out loud. Yes, but he said he saw the time. He didn't say he heard it. He very much said he didn't hear it. And it doesn't look like a clock. I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So, the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness' testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Yes, he said he saw it, but you have to hear it. Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known the weapon was the clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he... Well, I mean, that could theoretically be the answer, but we have no reason to believe so let's just go with witness to the apartment. You're lying. You were inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh, yeah? Prove it. Prove I went in there. I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her. You struck her with a clock, and the shock of the blow triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard? Order in the court. Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Soret, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandable, since the murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face. Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard no... I mean, I saw... Oh, thank you. Thanks for that. Just Phoenix is unamused. Shut up, I hate you! It was him, I tell you. I saw him. He killed her, and he should burn. Burn! Give him death! Where is Larry gone? Order! Order in the court, I say! Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright? Your Honor? You claim the sound came from that. You claim the sound that was heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. You better think it through carefully. Your Honor, the sound Mr. Sawyer heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... I don't see how the batteries would help us. I don't see how the neighbors would help us. Let's just try sounding the clock. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. What are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? Yeah, it's 11:25. Ah! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sawyer heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sawyer, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing. Oh, what's he talking about now? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case. I mean, let's just think about this for a second here. It was the murder weapon. It would have been left at the scene, and the police would have just collected it. The only way you can suggest it just ended up that way is if the murderer just made the clock run 3 hours slow after they killed someone with it. Whatever. He's right. How am I going to prove that? Damn it, I was so close. Mr. Rice? It seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the witness, unfortunately. This ends the cross-examination, Mr. Frank Sawyer. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. You treat me like a criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Not so fast, Mr. Sawyer. Mia? I mean, Chief. Listen up, Wright. Don't throw this one away. Not like this. Think. But, Chief, it's over. I can't prove the clock was slow the day of the murder. Nobody can prove that. Well, yes. But that doesn't mean you can't still win. Try thinking out of the box. Don't waste time doubting the facts. Assume the clock was 3 hours slow and think through it. Ask yourself, why was the clock 3 hours slow? Figure out the reason and you'll have your proof. Right? Right? You think of a reason as to why the clock would be 3 hours slow? Yeah, the reason is this. She went to France. I mean, the thing is, I can assume that there are different time zones. I don't know the exact time zone specifics of France to Japan, but I'm guessing that's what she's talking about. Yes, I can think of a reason. Maybe I can prove it. You must have evidence somewhere that can prove it, right? Find it and let them have it. Well, Mr. Wright, you say the clock was already running slow on the day of the murder. Have you found evidence to support this claim? Of course. There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can prove my claim beyond a doubt. Tough words. Let's see you pull this one off. Let's see this evidence that proves why the clock was running slow. The victim had just returned home from abroad the day before the murder. As we all know, the time difference between here and Paris is 9 hours. That's just common knowledge. I mean, the French and the Japanese just constantly go back and forth and have to change their timepieces for 9 hours every time. Everyone does that. When it's 4 PM here, it's 1 AM the next day there. The clock wasn't 3 hours slow, it was 9 hours fast. The victim hadn't reset her clock since returning home. That's why the time you heard when you struck her dead in the apartment was wrong. Proof enough for you, Mr. Sword? Or should I say, Mr. Did It? No, you're unraveling his identity. Oh, he only knows how to see things. Oh, no, he's dead. Well, medic? Order, I say. Well, this case has certainly turned out differently than we all expected. Mr. Payne, your witness? He was arrested and has been taken away, Your Honor. Very well. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't think I've ever seen someone complete a defense so quickly and find a true culprit at the same time. Thank you, Your Honor. At this point, this is only a formality, but this court finds the defendant, Mr. Larry Butts, not guilty. And just convenient confetti that's just totally set up in the courtrooms for not guilty verdicts. And with that, this court is adjourned. It turns out that Frank Sawyer was a common burglar. He posed as a newspaper salesman to check and see when people were out of the house. That day, when Larry went to her apartment, the victim wasn't home. After he left, Mr. Sawyer let himself in to do his dirty work. While he was searching her place, the victim returned. Flustered, Mr. Sawyer grabbed the nearest wooden object he could find. Phew, still can't believe we won. Right, good job in there. Congratulations. Thanks, Chief. I owe it all to you. Not at all. You fought your own battles in there. It's been a while since I've seen the trial end on such a satisfying note. Never seen the Chief looking this happy. She's just glad. Imagine how Larry must feel. My life is over. Larry, you're supposed to be happy. What's wrong now? Aw, Nick. Don't worry about me. I'll be dead and gone soon. Good. Wait, no. I mean bad. Bad. Larry, you're innocent. The case is closed. But my Cindy Windy's gone, man. Gone forever. Larry, she was a... Seriously, the respect for the dead in this game. Congratulations, Harry. Harry? Yes, you. I can practically see the headlines now. Harry Butts innocent. Okay, thanks, thank you. Oh, the cringe! Thanks. I really owe you one. I won't forget this, ever. Let's celebrate. Dinner? Movie? My treat. Oh, no, I can... Hey, I was the one who got you off the hook. You just look so happy to be here. Oh, hey. Here, take this. It's a present. A present? For me? Wait, wasn't this the evidence that... Actually, I made this clock for her. I made one for her and one for me. Really? You? You made this? Well, thank you. I'll keep it as a memento. Yo, Nick. Can you believe it? I was so into that chick. And she was just playing me for a fool. Doesn't that make you just want to cry? Larry. Are you so sure? Excuse me? I think she thought quite a lot of you in her own way. Nah, you don't gotta sympathize with me. It's okay. Oh, I'm not just sympathizing, really. Isn't that right? Right. Don't you have something to show your friend? Something that proves how she felt about him? Huh? Oh, yeah, right. What the heck is she talking about? I'm guessing this because he made it for her and she kept it. Sentimental value. Check this out, Larry. Proof positive you weren't just some chum to her. Huh? What about that clock? This is the clock you made for her, Larry, and she took it with her when she traveled. Whatever, she probably just needed a clock, that's all. You think so? It's a pretty heavy clock to take traveling. Well, make of it what you will. Hey, Nick. I'm glad I asked you to be my lawyer. Really, I am. Thanks. I hope that made him feel a little better. Right? I hope you see the importance of evidence now. Also, hopefully you realise things change depending on how you look at them. People too. We never really know if our clients are guilty or innocent. All we can do is believe in them. And in order to believe in them, you have to believe in yourself. Right? Listen, learn, grow strong. Never let go of what you believe in. Never. Well, I think our work here is done. Shall we be off? Yeah, I guess so. Say, how about dinner? On me? We'll drink a toast to innocent butts. Yeah. Oh, speaking of Harry, you were saying part of why you became a lawyer was because of him? Yeah, part at least. You'll have to tell me more about it sometime. Maybe over a drink. Look, I already said I'm going to have drinks with you. Calm down. And so, my first trial came to a close. Larry slapped me on the back and said, "Gee, Nick, it's so good to have friends." But I'm pretty sure he's not going to pay us, unless you count the clock he gave me. I didn't know it then, but that clock was soon going to be at the center of another incident, and my promise to tell the chief about me and Larry would be one promise that I wouldn't be able to keep. Hey, spoilers, Phoenix. I don't know what the rest of this game has in store for me. But yeah, I like it. I like what I've seen. So obviously, it was a very easy case. It's the first case of the first game of the entire franchise, so it's gotta be easy. I'm sure it'll get more difficult, and I had some fun with it anyway. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the rest of this game, and hopefully this is recorded properly, so I can finally upload this and actually play the rest of the game that I want to play. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.